the gospel this morning, Jesus is led by the Spirit into the desert for 40 days, which is a symbolic journey of the 40 years that the Israelites were led into the desert. But that number 40 is symbolic as well. For a long time, but it's symbolic for a period of testing. It is a probationary period because God tests us to see if we are faithful. And if you know anything about the Old Testament, you know that the people failed the test. And so just as Israel was a son of God, Jesus is the Son of God, and enters into the desert and is tempted and is tested, and he overcomes temptation. But you and I are sons of God by virtue of our baptism. We are all sons because we're baptized into the sonship of God. And so we too are led into the desert of life, for our period of testing. It is a probationary period that God desires to test us to see if we are going to be faithful. And so if we know that we're going to encounter the demonic, just as the Israelites did, and just as Jesus did, it would be kind of nice to understand and to know how it is that we are going to encounter the demonic so that we can be prepared. But sadly to say that oftentimes today people don't believe in the demonic or have a fairy tale understanding of how the devil works. If you believe in the power of love and the power of good, then you have to believe that there's a power of evil at work as well. And so everybody, or a lot of people, as I said, have this fairy tale understanding of the devil. And so they think he's got two horns, long tail, red suit, pitchfork. You're never going to see that guy. Because if you saw that, you would stay 5 miles from him and you would turn and run the other direction. He's too smart for that. He hides himself. He presents himself as something that he really isn't. But he's always knocking on the door. And so I wanted to expose him this morning and show you how he hides and where he hides. In one of the ways that you and I are being tempted today. You see, I brought my phone and my iPad into the church with me this morning. And you know, computer forensics are very, very, very good today. And I know just enough about computers to be dangerous. But I know this much. I know that delete doesn't mean delete. And I know that reformat doesn't mean reformat. And that if you think that you can access stuff on this iPad or this phone and that you can hide or that you can get rid of it, you're wrong. That's how good the forensics are today. So the reason I brought my iPad and my phone into the church this morning is because I'm willing to give anyone my phone and my iPad after Mass if you want to take it to a computer forensics expert so that you can see what I've been into. I'm not afraid. See? I'm not afraid. Because I know where I've been with this thing and this thing. But here's the deal. You got to be willing to do the same thing. And if you're not, that's where the devil's hiding. You see what I'm saying to you? You see what I'm saying to you? And I'm talking about this because recently I had a mom who came to me who was very upset that when she sent her young son to school one day, one of his friends had a smartphone that had no parental controls on the phone, and he was accessing all kinds of pornographic websites. Now, we all know that that stuff exists. But I thought that I would do a little bit of research on the statistics of just how bad a problem this is. And what I found shocked me. Let me share some statistics with you. 25% of all search engine requests are pornography related. That means that it averages out to about 68 million a day. 68 million hits a day on pornographic websites. 35% of all internet downloads are pornographic. 1 in 3 viewers of pornography are women. 70% of men aged 18 to 24 visit porn sites in a typical month. The average age which a child first views pornography online is 11 years old. By the way, you can easily access these statistics as well yourself. They're right online. The most popular day of the week for viewing pornography is Sunday. How nice, the Lord's Day. 38% of adults say pornography is morally acceptable. Can you believe that? The largest consumers of pornography are 12 to 17-year-old boys. 90% of children ages 8 to 16 have viewed pornography. Roughly 35 to 40% of viewers of pornography are addicted and report they cannot stop. Now look, I'm not trying to demonize iPhones and iPads or the internet. That's not the point. iPads and iPhones and the internet are good things. But we sometimes use good things in inappropriate ways. And one more statistic that I was told after Mass, that pornography is the single largest contributor for the elderly who get divorced. Marriages, people who've been married 40, 45, 50 years are getting divorced because of pornography. This is destroying our children. It is destroying marriages. And it is destroying families. Listen, these are powerful, powerful passions. And properly ordered, these passions which are properly ordered, you see, it is from that center and that core that we have the capacity to love as much as we love. But when it comes out sideways, instead of loving and we lust instead, it's destructive. It's destructive. Because it denigrates the dignity of the human person. There are many men out there who don't understand why their wives are upset because they're viewing pornography. They don't make the connection that looking at this stuff is adultery. It's tantamount to infidelity, gentlemen. So I look them right in the eye and I say, do you have any kids? Yes, Father. How would you respond at somebody looking at your daughter like that? Oh, that's different. That's someone's daughter you're looking at. And by the way, most of the people that work in this sick industry have been sexually abused, and the divorce rate is sky high. Because they're living out a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because they believe that's all they deserve. So I have some suggestions for you about your children. If there are computers in their room, get it out of there. Put it in the living room. And put some parental controls on there. And change them every once in a while. If your kids have one of these, check it. And if you don't know how to check it, bring it to somebody who does. Check what they're texting. Listen, pornography is like crack cocaine. You know, it's like a drug. When you're taking this stuff, okay, it feels good, but it's destroying you. What people don't seem to understand about pornography is that every time you look at it, there's an image that's being burned here. And when you say you're not going to do it anymore, believe me when I tell you the enemy brings those images up over and over and over again. Because he wants to enslave us. But there's help out there. Did you listen to what St. Paul said? If you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and you believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Grace is more powerful than sin. We need help, my brothers and sisters. We are a culture that is self-imploding. You know, it's too darn bad. It's snowing out this morning. This church is half empty. Because everybody needs to hear this stuff. Everybody needs to hear this stuff. As to why it's wrong and how destructive it is. And so if you're having a problem with this stuff, come see me. I can help you. Believe me, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I know what it means to be a slave. When you can't say no to something, you're a slave. You're a slave. This is destroying people's lives. Destroying people's lives. Please, don't suffer in silence. This is a suffering. So if you are suffering, or if you know someone who's suffering, come see us. we can help you.